Hello, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Tort Talk Thursday. We are here with our favorite mass tort reporter to learn all things mass tort and what's going on in the industry. Joe, as always, thanks so much for taking time to connect with me this week.
Thanks for having me, Susan. Excited to talk about all the developments since we spoke last.
Yeah. Let's start off with the barred hernia mesh. I know some things have transpired since last week and just wanting to understand kind of what are next steps.
Yeah, so as you remember earlier this year, the MDL judge adjourned the fourth bellwether trial and ordered the parties to mediation. That was at the end of February. There were a number of mediations and some progress was made, but ultimately the court set a May 24th deadline to advise the court if there was a settlement. There hadn't been a global settlement announced. My understanding is there's about 35,000 cases between the MDL and Rhode Island. So what's going to happen next is the parties have to present to the court by June 24th their schedule and plan for remanding some of the cases from the MDL back to state courts. So in the meantime, we're going to continue to negotiate with the defendants, hopefully come to a resolution. If not, later this summer, the cases will be going back to different courts across the country, really picking up the litigation and putting pressure on Bard.
Great. I know we're excited to see some movement in hernia mesh. Okay, next, let's talk a little bit about Zantac. I know there was a defense verdict, so maybe share a little bit about that.
Right. So that was the first trial in the Zantac litigation. That was out in state court in Illinois. It was a tough case with some tough facts. It was a colorectal case with an elderly plaintiff who took Zantac branded generic for almost 20 years. It was a good trial. We presented the best we could, but ultimately, like you said, it came back with the defense verdict against GSK and BI. So there's a number of trials scheduled for later this year, picking up in the summer here. Illinois State Court, there's about 3 of them, I believe. And then down in Philadelphia, we have the first scheduled trial in the first quarter of 2025. But we're really waiting on the ruling on the expert admissibility in Delaware, expecting a ruling by mid-June about which cancers can come in, which are going to be excluded. That's really going to shape what happens next year.
Good. So it sounds like some movement over the next month we'll all be looking out for. Tell us a little bit as it relates to the video game addiction. Has anything transpired since we last connected on that tort?
Yeah, so the JPML, the judicial panel, is meeting this week and they're hearing an argument to centralize the video game addiction. Plaintiffs are looking to have it either be in Missouri or Arkansas. Obviously, the defendants are opposing centralization. It's almost similar to what we had going on with some of the social media addiction, similar type of theories here. So we'll expect a ruling from the JPML early June. Hopefully we can get that litigation kicked off. I know a lot of people are excited and a lot of buzz about that new mass tort forming.
Mm-hmm. Okay. And lastly, Ozempic. I know there's been a lot of questions around the unfortunate passing of Judge Pratter. And so have you heard a little bit about what's in the store and kind of how things are moving forward there?
Yeah, sad news with the unexpected death of Judge Pratter, who was one of the senior judges we had out here in the Eastern District of Pennsylvania. We were all excited about her when she got appointed to oversee the MDL. Unfortunately, surprise passing. And what happened so far is we've heard that the Science Day, which was scheduled for the middle of June, that's been adjourned. And really what we're looking for now is to get some guidance on whether a judge from the Eastern District is going to come in and lead that MDL, or if it's going to have to go back to another court. I know Judge Pratter had a really busy schedule, a lot of cases. So I'm hearing it could be moved to a different court altogether. We'll likely hear from the JPML on that in the next month or so.
Okay. Well, Joe, as always, grateful for your time, your insight, sharing the knowledge. Thank you so much for taking time this week to connect.
Thanks for having me, Susan.